Big MMA weekend on tap with Bellator and UFC. Let's start with Fight Night Saturday, headlined by Jared Cannonier and Kevin Gastelum. It's a 3v9 ranked middleweight bout inside the octagon, and for Cannonier, he's been inactive since suffering a broken arm in his unanimous decision loss to Robert Whittaker, UFC 254 back in October. Cannonier spoke with Brian Campbell of Morning Kombat to talk about what he expects from Gastelum.
I'm not going to say I expect him to come out hard and heavy trying to, put a stamp on it. But he does come out pretty aggressive in the first throws of the rounds. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth round. He comes out pretty with killer intent. And then he settles down a little bit, and then he may bring it back up depending on how the fight goes. So not to say that that's what I expect, but I expect, that energy at the beginning, unless I can stop it right there at the door, which is what I plan to do. And all downhill from there.
You know it's a good week when I get to talk to Brian Campbell twice in a week. BC joining me here. By the way, if you're wondering why it's 3v9, Paulo Costa, the second-ranked fighter, withdrew back in June. That's why we're not getting the fight that we anticipate, but still something to look forward to. Tell me a little bit more about your conversation with Cannonier as we get ready for this weekend.
Well, how deep do you want me to go, Tommy? He's one of the most, I guess, is woke the word? Connected to the earth? Is that the phrase you want? A very deep man who relies on things like power crystals as much as his training camp to get ready for fights. But as it pertains to this fight, look, fantastic matchup between two sluggers. And for Jared Cannonier, he may be 37 years old, but he's a late bloomer into figuring out how great he can be. And what I mean by that is he was working at an airport in Alaska just 6-7 years ago, debuted in MMA as a heavyweight, competed at light heavyweight in the UFC, finally figured out that middleweight after losing all that weight was his best arena. He won 4 in a row, and although he lost to Robert Whittaker, the former champion, and hurt his arm in that fight you mentioned, he still thinks the window is there to get to that title shot, and he believes a victory over Gastelum can get him there. Obviously, Gastelum has fought some of the best that this division has had over the past few years, but he remains a tough out. Power for power, though, Cannonier brings the biggest weapons to this matchup, and he knows it. He says, I'm not playing for the scorecard, so to speak. I'm going to come in there looking to bang, looking to end this fight.
Love it. When you take a look at either the main event or anywhere else on the card, give me a best bet for UFC Fight Night.
We have a very interesting co-main event with Clay Guida, the veteran, going in there against a wrestling specialist in Marco Madsen, one of the most decorated amateur wrestlers for years in his late 30s, just new to the MMA game. He's undefeated. Madsen 2-0 in the UFC up to this point, but when he gets you to the ground, he usually has his way with you. Why is this an interesting matchup against an old Guida? Is that Guida still pushes the pace like no one else. He fights in a crazy style. His hair is out of control. And if somebody can test the gas tank of Madsen, it's certainly Guida. Madsen's the favorite. I like Clay Guida, though, to run him rampant over 3 rounds and get another sort of improbable late career victory for a guy who we know his face, we know his name. He's still around generations after generations in MMA history here. Look for Clay Guida on Saturday.
Love it. So that's Saturday. Let's talk about Friday. Bellator 265, main event is Czech Congo, Sergey Kharitonov. What do we think about this fight, and what did you break down yesterday on HQ?
Yeah, look, this fight offers the same thing as the UFC main event, the potential for fireworks. And obviously Congo, Kharitonov, they've been around forever, a combined 62 victories. They faced a who's who in MMA history. But what I like about this fight is it isn't necessarily just let's roll out 2 names that people know and hope for a knockout. There is legitimate stakes in this one, considering Czech Congo, he may be 46. But he's in better shape than I'll ever hope to be, and he has stayed in that shape. He's 12-3 since joining Bellator in 2013. He did get to the title level against Ryan Bader in 2019. There was an illegal strike. It ended in a no contest. He believes he should have got the immediate rematch. He also believes a victory over Kharitonov can lift him back into a title fight, whether that's against Bader, the defending champion who's currently tied up in the light heavyweight tournament, or against the interim title holder, Valentin Moldavsky. Don't count out Kharitonov. He brings the heavy lumber. He's the favorite for a reason. He's been doing professional boxing the last year plus. He can still bring it. But Congo knows how to, let's say, control the terms of a fight, control the space. I still think as an underdog, Congo's got the motivation to get over the top here.
Ranked fighter, underdog in the main event. It's interesting, both 6'4", but the reach advantage going to Congo. All right, BC, before I let you go, who wins and why?
I'm going to back check Congo here. Underdog, close odds, you saw that. But here's the thing. Nobody dominates this guy. He's been around forever. He doesn't lose by knockout. He controls distance well with that jab. He's great in the clinch with the Muay Thai knees. But just overall, an understanding how to stay efficient at his old age and lean on his strengths. You're going to have to be weary of Karatanov's big punching early. But the later this fight goes, and it is a main event, which can go deep here, I like Congo's stamina, and I like his ability to stay out of trouble. Look for Cheick Kongo to, if all things can lead to where he wants, get into another Bellator heavyweight title opportunity.
Brian Campbell, droplet of knowledge, partying it's 1917. BC, certainly appreciate it as always. Check out the Morning Kombat promo as you take a look at the poster there. Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell. Luke, I think, is on vacay. We had Aaron Bronstetter filling in with BC in the latest YouTube clip. Make sure you download and follow the guys today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.